Hello, I'm Kate, Salon Director at Laine Hair Company in Brighton. Today I'm going to show you how to do some plaits. So we'll start with just a standard plait coming from a ponytail, and then once we've mastered that we're going to go on to do a French braid and a Dutch braid. All you need is somebody with long hair, a willing participant in your family, a brush and at least one hairband. Here's my model here ready. The first thing to do is to get into position. So if you're doing, say, your daughter's hair, for example, have her either sat on the floor and then sat in between your legs so that you're then above them, or they could be sat on a chair and then you can stand up, again being above them. Make sure the hair is totally combed through. So to start with, we're just going to do a plait from a ponytail, as I said. If your daughter has quite fine hair, then bring it all back into a ponytail in the middle, so the ponytail's hanging down. My model here has got quite thick hair, so I'm just going to do a side section and I'm just going to plait that bit, because we don't need too much hair to start with, because we're just practicing for now. Okay, so we have our model ready. We've got one ponytail at the front there, that's all combed through, ready to go. The back bit I've just put in a ponytail just to keep it out of the way, so we're just practicing for now. Key things to know is that we want to practice on, or do all your braids on dry hair. Wet hair just gets tangled up, it doesn't stay combed through, so work on dry hair. Before you start, get your hairband ready. I've just put mine on my wrist. I'm right-handed, but I've got my hairband on my left wrist. Okay, so this is your ponytail. We want to section into 3 equal sections. You're always going to hold the hair fairly loosely. I'm going to have it in your open hand, and using our finger and thumbs to grasp the section as you pass it over. So all the sections are going over the top of each other. So for here we're having the left section is going over the middle. I'm going to hold it in the right hand. I'm going to have a spare hand there. So now this will become the left hand section, and then I'm going to pass the right hand section into the middle. Okay, so I'm going to move that middle section out of the way to receive the left hand into the middle, and then we're going to take the right hand section over and into the middle. So that's always the routine: the section over and into the middle, over and into the middle. Just comb or take out any tangles as you go. You want the plait to be quite close to their head or to their neck. Take your time, there's no rush, keeping it nice and neat. Always over the top and into the middle. Your hairband wants to be attached once you get to the shortest layer. So if you see here, there's longer pieces, but equally there's shorter pieces up here. So you want to make sure you attach all the hair so it doesn't come out. So you can get fairly low. About here is good for me. So make sure you put all of the hair into your thumb and finger where your hairband is, because then that just slides up your hand and that'll be ready to tie up. Tie it fairly tightly. Ideally the band matching the colour of the hair, perhaps. There we go, there's your first plait. Okay, so we have practiced our braid in a ponytail, so now we're going to put it into a French braid. I have just clipped my sections, two front sections forward, because the hair is pretty thick. So again, just for practicing purposes, just start at the back. We're going to take a first section nice and big across the top. It doesn't have to be perfect, but do comb the hair down underneath before you start. So as before, we're going to start with 3 sections the same size. Okay, so we are holding the left loosely in our hand, we're moving the middle section with our thumb and finger, and then loosely on the right. Before you start the French braid, you're just going to do a regular plait like we did in the ponytail. So that is taking the right hand side into the middle, holding that piece out of the way, and then your left hand side again over and into the middle. So that's going to start your plait. Do one more. We're taking the right hand side over to the middle. You need to keep your free hand now to take hair from here into the plait. So move this section, slide along and put that piece into your hand. If you've got a brush handy, then you can comb that out, and then that'll be knot free, ready for the next section. So we've taken the hair from here and put into the middle, and now we're going to turn it over how we did before with our regular plait. Now we're going to take this section and put into the middle. You can take the hair with a comb if you wish, or you can just use your fingers to bring that section over. And we're going to comb it through. So that is now into the middle. Bring your plait just forward a little bit, and it's easy to pick up the last piece of hair. So we're going to hold it with our thumb, we're going to take that over into the middle, and then that hair comes in to join it. You want to be holding the hair fairly tight so that it'll keep it all together, and then we're going to fold it back over. The key thing is to be holding the hair quite close to the head, then you'll get a nicer, tighter braid and it will last longer. Okay, so we're flipping that over. This section is coming in. You want your daughter's head to be slowly moving forward as you go further down the head, because the braid wants to stay very close to the head. If they start looking up, for example, the braid will then become quite baggy and it will be quite loose, certainly towards the bottom. So this hair is coming over into the middle, combing it through, so you're managing to hold the 3 pieces all in one hand. So bringing that over into the middle. I'm really close to the head. I'm picking up that section underneath to then pass over and then bring the hair in to the middle. So again, the head is going to be tilting forwards even more, chin touching the chest, and you're going to put in the hair until you run out of hair to add into. So we're going all across the hairline, picking up all the hair, and now I'm going to be going really close to the head. Now this is a good time to comb the ends through again, just so it's nice and neat. So again, we're close to the neck, coming close to the shoulders, all the way down the back. So the left hand side over to the middle, the right hand side over to the middle, holding it nice and tight, nice and close to them. We've got our hairband ready on our wrist to seal it all when we get to the end. And we need to put the hairband in at the shortest layer, otherwise it won't hold. So that's about right for me. So I'm going to put all the pieces into the middle, bring our hairband up and tie it nice and tight, making a French braid. Okay, so that was our French braid. Now I'm going to show you how to do a Dutch braid. It's pretty much exactly the same. The difference is, instead of the hair going over the top, it's going under and into the middle. So once you've mastered French plait, you can definitely do a Dutch braid. So get your 3 sections to start with. We're going to put the right under and into the middle, and we're going to take our left section under and into the middle. Same as previously, under into the middle. We're going to take a section from here that's going to join the middle section that is, as you know, underneath. So we're going to bring that along and slide that into your fingers underneath, keeping that hair nice and smooth. So we bring that over, and now we're going to take that piece underneath, and now our finger and thumb are available to receive that piece of hair from that side. As I said earlier, it's much easier to do on dry hair, not on wet hair. The reason I'm not doing the whole head and I've sectioned these 2 front sections out of the way is because 1, the hair is really thick, and 2, I'd need the doll's head to be sat back, and I don't have enough hands to move the head as well as do the braid at the same time. So we're going underneath, and then you're going to receive that with your fingers under there. Again, we want to be quite close to the head. It can be fairly loose when you're holding the hair, but as soon as you've got the hair, you're then going to tighten it up. You're going to put the chin forward a bit so that your hands are staying again close to the head, otherwise it will just be too baggy. keep an eye on those ends. Turn that underneath. Take this hair to be received by your fingers there. Take that underneath. Back under into the middle, keeping nice and close to the head, chin looking forward. You can just put a ponytail at the end of the braid and then keep the hair loose at the bottom. That also looks really appealing. We're going to do a braid all the way down, and I'm going to show you how to pull it out to make it look a little bit more boho as well. So this is my last section of hair we're putting in. We're going to go underneath and then underneath. So I'm going to use this opportunity to brush those ends, keep it nice and tidy. Your daughters won't mind at all. I'm sure they're used to it. So we're going underneath, underneath, still holding it close to the shoulders. And then when you get to having your shortest piece of hair, you're going to put in your band. Okay, so that's ready on your wrist just to come up and tie that into place. Okay, so our finishing touch now is to come back up and we're going to pull some pieces out. So just hold it further down and just loosen that bit up like that, and then hold the opposite side just to keep it nice and neat. We're just going to pull the braid out, just makes it look really pretty, just lifting those edges, makes it look bigger and sort of fans the hair out a little bit. Bring it up as much as you like. So I'm just pulling from lower down just to release the hair, and then you can keep going further up to keep that looking the same width. It'll get thicker as you get further down because there's more hair there. You can put flowers in if you've got flowers to make it extra pretty. A finishing touch as well, you can roll the plait up. There's a little bit of space under here, so you can roll the plait up. Works better on slightly shorter hair, and tuck in and just use a couple of curvy grips just to clip the hair in like this, and makes it a really pretty finishing touch, maybe for bridesmaid hair, for example. Okay, so we're going to do the French plait over the whole head just to show you how you do that. The head needs to be quite far back. So obviously if it's on a little daughter, for example, you don't want to be putting strain on her neck. So the best thing for me is for them to be sat on a chair and then leaning on the back of the chair. So they've got a rest for their neck, because they could be sitting like this for a little bit, especially while you're practicing. So you take the first section at the hairline and you're going to split it into 3 equal sections, and then you go straight into your braid. So we're going back to French plait. So you're going from the side over into the middle, and then you're taking a section from here to join into the middle. Again, if you've got your brush nearby, you can then smooth that down, and then we're going to go over into the middle and take that section. Again, use a comb if you want to. Longer nails work quite well. It doesn't have to be too neat. That is absolutely fine, because when you take your next section, it will blend into it. So don't worry about being too neat or not. You can do it quite loosely. That will mean it's a bigger, more casual plait. The tighter, meaning the closer you hold it to the head, that's the tighter it will be. So certainly for kids going to school and keeping the hair out of their eyes, a bit tighter is better because it will last longer. So you can see there where it wasn't totally straight, this hair then covers that up, makes it look nice and neat. So you would just continue all the way, but as you go, the head needs to then be moving further forward. So you'll be looking straight forward in a neutral position, and then as you get further down, the head will then be looking more to the ground, so chin to the chest. So we're going over into the middle, Keep it nice and neat, combing through. Twisting that over, holding it nice and close. If you want to have some pieces down at the front, of course you can. So that means just when you're going over the ear, just leave some hair down there just to keep it nice and soft. So if you were doing a braid like this on wet hair, you would definitely need a comb, because every time you bring a section in, it will tangle. So just be careful, because hair is most delicate when it's wet. So you don't want to be cutting through and causing any split ends. So finer hair is okay. Very long hair like this, very thick, doing on wet hair will cause more tangles than anything else. So yeah, do it on dry hair or practically dry. So we come down, lower down. I'm going to put this into a ponytail at the end. This is a really good thing to do actually if your daughter wakes up in the morning with very tangled hair, and then it's a big mission while you're trying to get ready for school. Send them to bed with a French braid, and it just will eliminate any of those tangles in the morning. So I'm keeping my hands really close to the head. Just try and put my model's head forward a bit. There we go. So we're about to run out of hair, so I'm going to take all of the hair into the braid now. I'm going to move my hands closer. There we go. I'm going to comb it through a little bit. I'm going to put all of the pieces into one. There we go. And again, I've got my hairband ready. There we go. What I'm going to show you now is how to do a French plait in the fringe area. So this is ideal for fringes that are growing out, so they're at that fiddly stage where they won't stay back into a ponytail, they're just getting in their eyes. So I've just put all the rest of the long hair back in a ponytail, and we're going to work on this very front bit. So take your 3 sections as before. So imagine that this is a fringe that is growing out, so it's shorter hair, so it is certainly more fiddly, so it doesn't have to be very neat, but you do need to hold your hands very close to the head, because there's going to be shorter hair, as I said, that you're going to be working with. So once you've got the piece of hair where you want it, hold your hand touching the head to put those pieces into your plait. So we're going from the outside into the middle, taking your next section to join that piece, and then hold it nice and tight, bring it over. So you can imagine how short the hair can be that will still fit into this braid. As I said, it looks so cute. I just do it on my nieces quite a lot, and it just helps to keep their hair out of their eyes, and if you do it fairly tight, it will last, and they're less likely to be pulling out a hairband, because we're just going to seal it with a clip. So holding it nice and tight, pulling all of that hair out of the way. We're just going round. So the key thing is to be moving around the head. So stand further, stand in the direction that the braid is going. So as I want it to go further back, I'm moving around the head as well. So for a short fringe, I would finish it here. So just don't pick any more hair up, just do 1 or 2 last turns of into the middle and then into the middle. And then have your clip. I've just put my clip ready on my wrist here. So this is actually very thick hair, so I've got 2 clips, but you would come in and seal it, and on that side come in and then seal it. You would probably only need 1 clip, but that just clips that in. That braid is really pretty, keeping their fringe out of their eyes. So that's your Dutch braid and your French braid. I hope you like them. They weren't perfect by any means, but hopefully they were good enough for you to have a few tips for you to be practicing on your family at home. I've got one last one to show you here. So this is a Dutch braid. You can call it a halo or a milkmaid braid. So to start with, I sectioned the hair, so I combed it, I put it all back. I clipped this in a clip to keep it out of the way. If you're doing this on your daughter, you probably almost want them to lie down on the bed, because I had to get to this section first, and then I kept it very close to the hairline, bringing this hair forward to the Dutch braid going around. I then tied it just here, and then I've pinned it underneath. So from the back, all the hair is covering there, and then afterwards I've then pulled it out to give it a softer, really nice boho look. So yeah, really nice for daughters potentially that like to wear the hair down, but actually you want to keep the hair out of their eyes. Looks lovely. What do you think? Thank you for watching.